Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Beautify Me, Ow. And today, I am going to be showing y'all how I cleaned my brushes using another YouTuber's method. Now, I will insert her name as I'm editing because, like I said, I suck at remembering names, especially if it's my first time seeing someone. So I did use another YouTuber's method of cleaning brushes, and here's how my brushes did end up coming out. It's kind of hard to see, but there you go. So here's how my brushes ended up coming out. They came out really well. These brighter brushes surprised the heck out of me how they came out. So I'll be using that method. Pretty much we're just gonna be using the dishwashing liquid, the vinegar, some hot water, and soaking them for 20 minutes. But for my brushes, I did actually have to do it for 40 for certain brushes because it just was caked in there and I just wanted to really clean it. So we're gonna go right on into the video, and you can actually see in my bathroom, my old house, my old bathroom, how I went on and achieved this brush look using her method. I'm just gonna be cleaning my brushes. As you can see, they are definitely a mess. As you can see, all of that there, foundation all stuck in them. Time to get cleaned. If you hear any background noise, just keep in mind I do have children and I don't get the piece that I need sometimes, and that's okay. So there's also some more brushes here that I need to clean as well. So I'm using a method that I saw from another YouTuber. Forgive me right now because I can't remember her name off rip, but I'll just insert it right in this part of the video as I'm editing. But she said that she cleans her brushes using distilled white vinegar. She uses dish detergent. I know she used Dawn, but this is what I buy for my dishes, so I got this. And I did not have a regular like bowl like she found, like a glass jar, I guess it was, so I had to get a bigger one. But I had to get two because I had like quite a bit of brushes I need to clean. So, and then another thing that she used also, she used a little comb from like a compact mirror to comb through the brushes at the end, and I'm using this very little black comb right here because I could not find a compact mirror with a comb to it. So I'm gonna do it this way. And all right, so let me go get the other things that I need, like my measuring tool, so I can go ahead and start this process. Okay, so now I have 2 cups of hot water. I know originally in the video that I had watched, she used 1 cup, but I have 2 different containers, so I'm gonna use a cup in each. So I got 2 cups of hot water, and I'm gonna go ahead on and pour them into my 2 little jars right here. So now I have the hot water in the jars. Now I don't have a regular little tablespoon thing, so I'm gonna use this because it's a spoon. So you put in the dishwashing liquid. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my Gain in there. Just a spoonful for each container. It's in there. It's clear. Y'all can't really tell, but the soap is in there. And then I'm going to take the same amount for the vinegar as well, and I'm going to go ahead and pour that on the spoon also. And do the same thing just as I did with the soap. Just going to stir it around in there just to make sure they're all in there good. It's not going to do too much soapiness because I'm not going to go ham on it, but just for both. All that she did as far as that goes. Now I'm just going to go ahead on and put the brushes in. So I'm going to start with this jar full of brushes here and just put them down with the tops downward and just have them standing up. Okay, I guess I should show y'all how I'm doing this right now. So I'm just putting them in there face down or tops down, whatever. Okay, so here are the 2 jars with the brushes all inside. As you can see, already the makeup is definitely doing as it was in the last video, where the makeup is going straight to the liquid of it. So I'm gonna let this sit here now for 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back to it, and then we'll see if it really is as easy as she made it look in her video, and I'm really hoping that it is. So I will see y'all back in 20 minutes. Okay, and we are 20 minutes in, as I had to wait. That was the waiting period to clean the brushes as I dropped my life. All right, so this is what has happened in the course of 20 minutes. As her video showed, the water definitely gets murky, full of makeup, and you can see right here the amount of product that has been stuck in my brushes, which is super freaking gross, but problem hopefully solved. So this is what I got for you right now. And now I'm actually going to show you what it looks like as I comb through the bigger brushes, and you can see how the makeup just flows out. And then I've also set up a towel over here, so that way all I do is lay the brushes down and let them dry overnight. So moving on into cleaning the brushes, I will go ahead and reposition my camera so that way we can see the process and see if it really works the way that she said it would. Okay, y'all, do not drag me from my sink. This is an old house. I'm glad to be leaving it, and it's stained up. There's nothing I can do about this, so moving on from that. All right, so now I'm gonna take some brushes right here, and then I'm gonna go ahead on and run some water. I do everything hot water, so there's that. And then I'm gonna go ahead on and start. Here's my comb. It's a very little comb, so it should work out just fine. And here is the first brush. So this brush obviously didn't have too much on it. I think this is most of, like, one of my powder brushes. I think I probably used it for maybe highlight or blush or something like that in the past, and that's it. So this one is not too bad. So once you're done rinsing it off, all you're gonna do is squeeze it down. Like that there, and then I'm gonna sit it on a towel. One right here. I'm gonna rinse it first. Oh yeah, you can see the product just falling off of it. That's pretty awesome. It's just product falling right on out of it. And then she said if you comb it multiple ways, it should be able to get those deeper spots that we probably couldn't get generally with like regular brush cleaners. And yeah, so okay. Okay, so yeah, it's a pretty simple process, but for some of it, some brushes are a little bit harder to clean, so I'm going to let them sit a little longer. I'll probably add a little bit more vinegar and soap just because I want them clean, so that way they come out to looking perfect again, as hers did in her video. And I'm just adding more vinegar right now, just another tablespoon. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the soap. And I'm going to let it sit in there a little longer because some of them came out pretty perfect at the end, but then some of them did not. So I stuck those back in actually, so that way I can really get that product out of there. I guess sometimes you just don't realize how much you actually do makeup until it's time to clean the brushes. And I used to just use, like, you know, working in makeup stores and stuff back in the day, it was always, you know, you use alcohol to clean your brushes at the end of the day. And now that I'm older, and that was the soap. Now that I'm older and all of that, I really feel like that was not the smartest way to clean brushes back in the day. So I feel like that was just the easy way out for a lot of stores, instead of just taking the proper precautions of cleaning brushes. So whenever you go and have people do your makeup, make sure you ask them how they clean their brushes. Now I know that, and then that's a wonder. It was a wonder why like people were breaking out. And I mean, not from anything I've done. And I'm just going to go ahead and clarify that because I'm a different breed and I do stuff differently. But that was the way that they had us cleaning brushes back when I was like 18 or 19 years old, when I first started working in makeup in different malls. That is the way they would have us clean the brushes at night. When we were getting ready to leave, we would just have to drench them in alcohol, and yeah, I might sterilize them or whatever, which is why you probably didn't break out, but at the same time, are the brushes really clean? You know what I'm saying? So that question is definitely in my head now. Like, what did they teach us back in the day? But as you can see right here, all the product really does go to the top. You can actually see this brush right here clearing right before our eyes. Which brush is that? Nope, this ain't it. Okay, I lost the brush. Y'all have so many doggone brushes, it's ridiculous, but there's only half of them. Just what was in these two things are only half of the brushes that I have. So I always buy extras because sometimes whenever I didn't know a newer way to clean the brushes and I felt like the way that I was doing wasn't working, I would just buy new brushes. So now I'm just taking time to get back to those older brushes that I had already bought like maybe 2 years ago, that I stopped using maybe 2 years ago. And I'm just going to take the time to see if it really works, even with stuff that's set in for so long, even though I haven't used those brushes. So it is what it is. Some of them came out very perfect. Like this is really good. This one here is really good. And then the eyeshadow brushes were pretty simple to clean also. So some brushes worked out really well. Some of them I'm letting soak a little longer so I can make sure that that solution really gets deep down in there, because sometimes 20 minutes just is not enough. And I'm realizing that with my brushes now. And a lot of these brushes in here are actually new brushes, so I haven't had them that long. And you know how quick foundation is to stick to brushes. So I'm just taking this time really to, see if everything is really going to work the way it looked in the video. So far some did, so far some didn't. I mean, hit and miss, really. But at the end of the day, by the time I'm done with them, they're going to be perfect brushes again. And I will show you them after they are dried, which will be like overnight. So I'm just going to stay like this for the rest of the day. So, yeah. So I'm going to let these soak. Just a short way of saying I'm going to let these soak a little longer. And then I'm going to try to record again with these other brushes, but I'm going to let them sit in there for another 20 minutes. So I'll see y'all again in another 20 minutes for the rest of the brushes to make sure that they are cleaning properly and things like that. Because this is a really simple method. It's very cost effective. And I don't know if the difference between my mix and her mix is because of my her Dawn and my Gain. I don't know if that's the difference. I don't know if I added too little vinegar or too little soap. So I went on and I did add extra soap and vinegar in there. And we'll just see in another 20 minutes. So I'll see y'all back in a whole another 20 minutes just to make sure these brushes get properly cleaned. And I don't want y'all to really miss a beat. All right, and we're back after another 20 minutes for certain brushes. Because I managed to get a nice little collection actually like really clean. Like this cleared right on up. I don't know if I can see that, but that cleared really well. This was cleaned up really well. Can't knock that. So a lot of the hard brushes that I was having a hard time with cleaning, they actually did get cleaned. So I'm happy about that. But some of my bigger like foundation brushes they were the hardest ones. So I went on and finished out one container. So I went on and washed this out, and that's done. That was just a bunch of little brushes, like eyeshadow brushes, things like that. So I don't feel like y'all need to see every single brush getting washed, but the main ones I let soak in there a lot longer, which was that extra 20 minutes. On top of that, I took them and I kind of drenched them in the Gain dishwasher or dish soap or whatnot, I actually use extra on those certain brushes, and then I put them back into the solution, hoping that it will loosen up a little bit more. Apparently the foundations that I use are thick, so you know, it's expected to kind of have a hard time, at least with some of my brushes. Like, I didn't expect it to go like fully perfectly, and I'm okay with that. But for the most part, it is this method of cleaning brushes is actually really effective. And I have a towel full of brushes just laid out right here that were really good, really clean. And like I said, some of those brushes I used years ago. So, and then I had stopped using them. But then now that I've cleaned them, I feel comfortable using them again because they are spotless, and that's cool with me. But I did find that certain brushes cleaned easier than others, and I'm talking about certain brands. I'm not talking about certain brushes themselves, but like my e.l.f. brushes, they cleaned really easily, so that was cool. The harder brushes to clean are like the Morphe brushes were a little bit difficult to clean properly, but I did get those done for the most part. Those are pretty good now. The clean ones are really good. And then my Real Techniques. So my Real Techniques brushes were a little difficult. My Morphe brushes were a little difficult, but any of my BH Cosmetics brushes or some Amazon brushes I ended up getting, those cleaned out pretty easily. So that's all good. I only had one issue with one e.l.f. brush, but obviously because that was a foundation brush. You can see it sat a lot longer. It looks like coffee with a lot of cream in it right now. But it's really just like pouring off the color, so I'm okay with that. This is one of the Real Techniques brushes I was talking about. This brush here, I did put extra dish soap on because I felt like it would be gentle enough to keep my brushes, you know, from being dry, so that's okay. So far, I do like this method. It's very, like I said, very cheap to get everything. Like, this cost me almost $2. The vinegar, being that it was the Heinz version or brand, this cost me around $2. It's the smallest I could find. And then these jars right here were only 97 cents a piece at Walmart. I got everything at Walmart. And then my little double comb set I got from Family Dollar for $1. So this is the one I'll be using for my brushes from now on, so it will not go in my hair. But this one here is definitely going in my head, because what am I going to use this for a makeup brush for? There's that. So let's get right back into cleaning the rest of these little bit of brushes, and let's see what happens after all of this. So here we go. All right, so I did find that cold water was helping out the brushes, so I'm going to go back to the cold water side. And then we're going to go ahead on with the Real Techniques brush first, this foundation brush. But you can see right here, you can already see the foundation is literally pouring out. Like, look at that. That's the foundation that was in there. And I've only been using this brush for like a week or two, and that was it. So just that product I've been using, and I've only used one foundation with this brush, and that's been the Peach Perfect foundation. But this little method is actually working out, so I am not mad about that. I'm just gonna comb it through. And this brush looks pretty good, pretty good. I expect a little bit of a stain. I'm not too bothered by that, as long as the brush itself is clean. It doesn't smell like vinegar at all, but there's the brush. Like, it's a little stained, but there is no more caked up foundation in there. As you can see, there's no foundation whatsoever in the brush, so I'm actually fully happy about that. Already the foundation like pouring out of it. This brush has mainly Anastasia Beverly Hills on it, so we do know that is a thicker composition, and like I said, it's okay if it stains a little bit. I just don't want it to be caked up with makeup, and judging by me flipping it back and forth, it is not caked up with makeup anymore, just a stain, and I'm fully okay with it. So I mean, these are not brushes that I would use on other people. I would just go buy new brushes for other people's faces, but as far as for my own face, this will work. So that's gonna be a quick rinse out right there. because they're very small brushes, so I'm not too worried about those like whatsoever. Okay, y'all, so now that we know how I achieved the clean brushes, as you can see, they were just cleaned and I have let them sit for a day, just as she said to, on the towel. And that's why I still don't have any makeup on, because I did not want to use my brushes before even doing this part of the video, because then it would just defeat the purpose of having clean brushes, right? So I still have a fresh face, no brows, no nothing, but my brushes are clean. I'm happy about it. You should be able to see the before and after pictures in the thumbnail, but I will go ahead and insert it after this as well. So if you like this video, you guys, make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe to your girl's channel. Ow. Hit that notification bell, you guys. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified every time that I do a video. And I definitely did put a scheduled day or 2 days out of the week. You can look at my banner on my channel, and it says every Tuesday and Thursday I decided I'm going to do videos just to be more consistent, and I know that's really important on YouTube, so it also gives me more time to get y'all more content, so that way I never have to be without a video. Check out the next video on Thursday. Whoop whoop. All right, y'all, I'll see y'all next time.